General McNeill, right here at the Airborne Special Operations Museum. Tell us, I know there's some things you want to tell those soldiers out there.
Well, they're doing a great job, and sometimes it's difficult for them to understand that if all they do is read the newspapers, look at the TV screens, listen to the radio. But this is a tough fight. It's a fight we're going to be in for a while. The President's said we're going to be at it for years. We're winning the fight. It's not won yet, but the part that's being played, or the role being played by soldiers, units, and families from Fort Bragg can never be understated. And it's nice to be amongst them today and get a chance to say to them on this day, National Airborne Day, and the anniversary of the establishment of the 82nd Airborne Division. It's good just to say to the soldiers and families doing a wonderful job, and to their brothers and sisters in the Special Operations community, they also are doing a wonderful job, and we're winning this fight for sure.
Absolutely. Tell us, General McNeill, we realize that you're back in the community, but back and forth, but you have a lot of business to take care of here. Could you tell us about that?
Well, absolutely. We are continuing this fight in both Iraq and Afghanistan, and in fact in some other places around the world. Some people forget that even while we're in Iraq and Afghanistan, we still have a peacekeeping force in the Sinai. We still have a stability force in the Balkans. And the Forces Command, the outfit for whom I have responsibility now, is continuing to resource those fights. So it's nice to be down here, be amongst the units that will be going forward yet again to continue this fight against the terrorists.
Tell us, General McNeill, I know there's something in your heart that you would like to tell the families of these soldiers that are deployed right now.
Well, I want them to know what the Chief of Staff of the Army, General Pete Schoonmaker, is doing for them. He understands the operational pace. He understands the tasks, the requirements we're placing on units today. Presently, we've got 33 brigade combat teams, that's maneuver brigade combat teams, in the Army inventory. He thinks the answer to taking a little stress and pressure off not only soldiers and units but families as well is to have more. We're on our way to creating a total of 43 brigade combat teams by the end of fiscal year 06, with an option at that time to add 5 more, taking it to a total of 48 in fiscal year 07. Clearly, more of those types of units will make the time between rotations a little bit longer, so that the soldiers, for as long as we're in this fight against the terrorists, and as I said, the President said we'll be in it for years, we've got more units to put against it, taking a lot of stress and pressure off soldiers and families by, I think, holding down the amount of time they're soldiers are away from their families to a minimum.
We thank you for your comments, General McNeill. As a U.S. citizen right here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, it's nice to know we've got leaders in place like General McNeill. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We're here with General Vines, Commanding General of the 18th Airborne Corps and Fort Bragg. General Vines, the 18th Airborne Corps certainly makes a direct impact on our economy. What's going on base right now that our people in this area need to know about?
Well, here it's 16 August 2004. It's the 64th anniversary of the Airborne. And Airborne is represented excellence for that entire time, and currently we have forces that are preparing to redeploy to Iraq, some for their second, some for their third tour over there, and that'll take place over the fall and winter. So several thousand of our soldiers, in some cases airmen, will be deploying to conduct operations over there, Iraqi freedom. And so that will affect the local area. It'll affect the economy somewhat. We're activating another brigade in the 82nd Airborne Division in terms of numbers of personnel. That will be a slight plus up for Fort Bragg, and that'll be good. So some of our great soldiers will be conducting operations over there, and we'd ask you to keep them in your thoughts, and we'd ask you for your support.
Absolutely. General Vines, tell us some of the things that the military is doing for the families who are left behind when their soldiers go out.
We have family readiness groups that they look out for each other. It is not just support, but it is a support network, because there are a lot of challenges that face families every day, and certainly when you have spouses and children who know that their loved ones are in harm's way and they see the terrible images on television, the combat and the atrocities going on over there, and certainly they need a lot of support. Because it is scary business watching knowing your loved ones are in an environment like that. So that we have a whole host of activities and support networks that are designed to help them, but we can also we ask the local community to keep in mind that they're undergoing some significant stress.
A true leader, General Vines. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks.